Hey, what up guys, it's Joseph here and I'm back with another video. Alright, so this is my Honda Prelude. It's a 98 model and I'm going to show you how to change the rear brake pads. So I've got my tire off and the car has been jacked up. The front tire's got some wood under it to hold it stable. So I got these brake pads right here. They're ceramic brake pads. They were $55 from Repco if you live in New Zealand. And so I took my car to the mechanic and they quoted me $140 to do this brake job, guys, and these were $55. And these are middle to high quality brakes. There were brakes for $35 as well, and there was another one for $70, but I picked these, which were $55. Alright, so for this car, the first thing you're going to want to do is take off this little plastic cover right here. What this does is it pretty much prevents debris and dirt from getting into the brake pads. And the reason we need to take this off is just so we can get access to this one bolt over here. So we want to take this bolt off that's behind here, and then this bolt off over here, and then this caliper will just come off. Alright guys, so these are the things you're going to need. So this is what I use to get my tire out. You're going to need brake pads. For this car you need a 12mm, and you're also going to need a 10mm spanner. And you're going to need something like this. I'll show you what this is for later. Pretty much I'm going to use it to turn a big screw, and you may need a screwdriver if it's hard to get off pads. So the first thing you want to do before we actually take anything off is just feel the amount of resistance it takes to turn this at the moment, and when we're done with the job we want the resistance to be the same. So I can turn it around with one hand, but it takes a lot of force. That's the amount of resistance pretty much, and so hopefully at the end it matches and it's the same. Alright guys, so we need a 10mm and a 12mm spanner. So the 10mm is for this plastic part and the 12mm is going to be for the actual caliper. So I'll start by taking the plastic part off. As you can see, that wasn't tight at all. It's already loose. And the other one, and there we go guys. So that was the first bolt that was up here, and then the other bolt was down there. Sweet, now we get the 12mm to get this one out. There we go. And the bottom one as well. That's the size of the bolt. There we go guys, they're both the same length, same size, same everything. Alright, so now we're going to try to get this part off. So what you want to do is make sure all your brakes are off. And so I can tell my brakes off, but this is able to spin. So this part, we got to sort of just wiggle it out. This is where the screwdriver comes in handy. So we want to get it in here, not in this part over here, because this is going to stay and this is going to stay. We're just trying to get this middle part out. So I'm going to try to get the screwdriver in here. And that was easy guys, so easy. Just wiggle it out the rest of the way. There we go. As you can see, there's a brake line there and another one at the bottom. So we don't want this to just fall down because it's quite heavy and it could damage one of those lines. Okay, so to get this brake pad out, all you need to do is literally just pull it out. It comes out really easy. And just remember, this side was on the top and how it fits in like that. So just remember, this side was on the back side with this, and it was on the top. And then for the front one, it's just plain old flat. Sweet. So this is the old brake pad and this is the new one. As you can see, they're identical. So this is the back one, and I'm not taking any of these things out. I'm leaving them all the same. This is the only thing that came, these two things are the only thing that came inside the package. So one set on this side and one set on the other side. That's the only thing that came with these brake pads. So this one, as you remember, goes with this side on top and it's on the back, and it just fits in like that. And that's all, guys. And we put this one over here. Like that. And so wheel spins, and as I clamp this, get stuck. Sweet. So I'm just going to take these out, and I'm just going to come in with the brush and just give it a little bit of a clean, because there's a lot of brake dust around. So if you did want to take these out to clean them some more, all you do is push it up from here, the center part, and it pops right out. And then when you're putting it back in again, keep it in that angle, so tilt it down, put it into the grooves, and then just push it in. There we go. Sweet. So now that they're all clean, literally all I have to do is put that in here and push it down this way. They fit into place really nice. And then do the back one. Alright guys, so the next thing we want to do is get this part over here pushed inside, and the reason for that is with the old brakes, that was the correct length. It had to be outside, but since these are thicker, we got to push this into start. And so pretty much what we got to do for this car is we got to twist this like a screw. And so what I've got is this. It's actually just a file, but it fits in here, and I'm pretty much just going to use this to turn it. There we go. This is probably the hardest part of this job, but it's still not that hard. Literally just have to twist the screw. It's almost there. Sweet, that should be good once it's flush with that rubber part. As you can see, that's how you know it's good. Sweet guys, so the last thing to do is just put this back on and then bolt the two screws on. And so we just put this over, and as you can see, this part over here is extended, so we just gotta push it in, and there we go. And the same one for the bottom one. Bottom one's all good. It's always easier to do the top bolt first, so do the top bolt first, at least for this car. Just get it in the right place, finger tighten it, and then do the bottom bolt. I'm not going to tighten this fully right now, I'm just going to tighten it a little bit. Alright guys, so after doing those two bolts, what we're going to do is spin this rotor, and it spins freely. we're just gonna check that everything looks all good and looks sort of in the right position, and then I'm gonna go into the car and check the brakes. So just to show you guys, if I pull the handbrake right, it goes up way more than usual. Usually it stops at about here, but since we compressed that brake, it goes up all the way. So what we want to do is go to our brakes and just continue to compress it, and you'll feel that it gets really hard, and then now the handbrake works much better. So after compressing that, we should pull the handbrake, and now the motor shouldn't spin. So we come up to here, and yep, that's tight. There's no movement. Just gonna check it again. Everything looks good. Both surfaces are touching, and that's cool. Now I'll put this part on and the tire. So before I put this plastic bit back on, I'm gonna tighten these bolts down, and pretty much with this size I'm just gonna tighten as tight as I can get it, and that should be tight enough. There we go. Should be good enough. Can put these on. Now with these bolts, the plastic ones, we don't need them to be that tight because they're not really doing anything structural. They're just really a shield, so don't need to over tighten those. Also, I just wanted to say, so when you hear that squeaking noise, it's because of this metal part over here that starts squeaking against the rotor, and that's just to tell you that the brake pad is low. So yeah, that's the reason I had the squeak, and that's the reason I'm changing my brake pads, because this is what told me my brake pads were going low. Another thing is, guys, I told you guys at the start to check the amount of resistance. So after we've done the handbrake thing and pretty much ready to put the tire on, we're gonna check the resistance again, and as you can see, it's pretty much exactly the same as before, which means everything's all good, and yeah, it's perfect.